Hello and welcome to Howard University's 148th Commencement Program. I am your host, Molette Green. Excitement is in the air today as graduates ready to march before cheering families and friends. For years, they've spent caffeine-fueled days and nights studying, researching, writing, rehearsing, preparing for this moment. And now it's here, and you can feel the energy, the love, and the pride. I am a Howard alum myself, so I know firsthand what this day means to all of these graduates and their loved ones. It can be a bittersweet moment to have been part of an institution so rich in tradition, culturally relevant, and committed to high academic ideals, and now to leave it all behind for an uncharted future. But for one who has gone on before, I can honestly say that with Howard University behind you, a bright future lies ahead. At this 148th commencement, more than 1,300 bachelor's degrees, 300 master's degrees, and 100 PhDs will be awarded. 4 honorary degrees will be bestowed, including one to our commencement orator, the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. This is the first time the President has delivered a commencement address at a D.C. area college. So let me remind you, we are broadcasting live on Howard University Television, WHUT-TV, and on our sister radio station, 96.3 WHUR, and we're also video streaming at WHUT.org, WHUR.com, and Howard.edu. On social media, you can commend the class of 2016 in a number of ways, including Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and oh yeah, Snapchat. You can also join the conversation by using the hashtag HowardU16. Now we want to go out to the yard where the excited graduates and proud family members are gathering right now. I'm joined by Tony Richards of WHUR Radio. Hey, Tony, you've been out there. How does it feel?
Oh, my gosh, Molette, you used the right word. Energy, excitement, electricity here on the campus of Howard University. Molette, I had the absolute pleasure. I'm joined by Cheryl Chisholm, representing Los Angeles. She is here. Her daughter is graduating from Howard University. Cheryl, how does it feel to be here?
Oh my goodness, absolutely exciting. This is phenomenal. It's just great just to be here and to just witness my daughter not only graduating from the School of Communications at Howard University, but a historically black college and university. I love it.
And you stood out in the crowd. I noticed you had on your proud Howard mom, and then I saw your mother over there as well.
Yes, we are very proud.
So your daughter is coming out of what school?
Of School of Communications.
And why did you choose Howard University, a historic black university?
She had no other choice. I'm from Spelman College, and from day one, since she was born, she knew she had to do a historically black college and university for undergraduate.
Wow. Well, congratulations and happy Mother's Day, and enjoy the commencement, all right?
I will.
Right.
Yay, Howard!
And tell your mom we said happy Mother's Day as well.
I will do that, Tony.
Okay.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
You're very welcome. As you can tell, man, it is so exciting here today on the campus of Howard University. I am also joined by former university president and also a graduate of Howard University, Dr. Charlene Drew Jarvis is here. Hello.
Good morning. How exciting it is to be here.
Absolutely. How does it feel to be back on the campus?
I am very, very pleased. You know, I'm a child of Howard University. I grew up on this campus. I ran on this grass.
Wow.
And so to be here today, as always when I'm here, I feel such pride in this university and the intellect that is produced here and the people who go in the world and represent Howard University. But today is a capstone.
Wow. Well,
at the capstone.
Well, a pleasure to have you back here joining us. Enjoy the commencement, okay?
Thank you.
All right. And also joining us, this is a very good friend of mine. This is Mr. DC right here. He has his own show on WHUT television, Rock Newman. Talk about the Howard University pride, Rock.
how being here today gives me life.
Yeah.
There is a cornucopia of black excellence and beauty, and I love it. I got chills telling you about it.
Wow. Well, we're glad to see you, man, and enjoy the commencement today, all right?
Thank you so much. You guys do a great job. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. There are so many people here gathered from all across the country. Molette, it is about to start. Graduates are about to complete. It's about to be over. They are about to be official graduates of Howard University. Molette, I'll swing it back to you.
All right, thank you so very much, Tony. We're going to check in with you again a little bit later. At every commencement, Howard University recognizes distinguished leaders who've excelled in their respective fields, are exceptional role models, and who have worked for the betterment of others. This year, they represent governance, foreign and domestic, the arts, and medicine. Our first honoree is Dr. LD Britt. A native of Suffolk, Virginia, he received his BA degree from the University of Virginia and is a graduate of Harvard Medical School and School of Public Health. Dr. Britt will be conferred an honorary Doctor of Science degree.
Dr. LD Britt, world-renowned surgeon and chairman of the Department of Surgery at Eastern Virginia Medical School. He's the first African American to have an endowed chair in surgery. His awards and accomplishments are staggering, but even more impressive is the discipline and determination he's applied throughout his career, driven to make the healthcare system better for all.
I started up in the segregated South, in Suffolk, Virginia. My mother, myself, my aunt, father. If we had to go to a doctor's office, we had to pack a lunch and a dinner. You had to spend hours because they did not have that many physicians in the community. I knew then that was a problem. And my whole career has been dedicated to trying to address the disparities in healthcare.
Determined to tackle the issue of disparity head-on, Dr. Britt applied to Harvard Medical School after completing his undergraduate degree at the University of Virginia. It was suggested he set his sights lower. He applied anyway and got in. In fact, he was the only student from his class that year to be accepted into Harvard.
I wanted to go to the top school. There were other good schools, don't get me wrong, there were other good schools, but when he said that was the top school, but don't set your sights that high, I just locked in, and the rest is history.
Throughout his life, Dr. Britt has benefited from the wisdom and support of others, starting with his parents, who were strong examples of discipline and hard work. And he was also inspired by some of Howard University's finest.
I've had mentors, Dr. LaSalle LaFall, who's at Howard University, who's the former chief of surgery and past president of the college. Dr. Clive Callender, who's still there. There are a lot of people there. The president of Howard University, Dr. Wayne Frederick, Dr. O.W. Hoffer, Oswald Hoffer. He was one of the last trainees of Dr. Charles Drew at Howard University. And so for me to receive this recognition, it touches home.
Dr. Britt derives much joy from his family, his wife Charlene, who is also a physician, and his daughter Avery, who may one day pursue the family business. But in his work life, the payoffs come with the responsibility of looking after a patient.
For a patient to say, you can take care of me, you can violate my body, you can cut it open, you can remove something, you can do this, you can examine me, that's a privilege. And I don't ever take that for granted. And I try to bring my A game every interface.
One could argue that being the first African American endowed chair is pretty high up there in the honors category. Yet Dr. Britt sees his chairmanship as a result of sustained effort.
It's a high mountain because you have to go through a lot of training. You have to go through 4 years of medical school, 7 to 9 years of surgical training. You start off as an instructor, then you go to assistant professor, so it's a long climb. And so it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Dr. Britt is not only a patient's advocate, he also works to reduce disparities among doctors. Minorities comprise only 6% of practicing physicians today. The LD Britt Scholarship Fund is helping to better those numbers.
I've tried to address that disparity by trying to have more scholarships for well-qualified students who don't have that financial backing.
Like most people, Dr. Britt has faced hurdles while building his life and career, not the least of which was discrimination. He handled that resolutely like everything else.
My weapon was being excellent. If you're excellent, you can strike down all of the biases and discrimination and all that.
And he has done that, knocking down barriers, achieving mastery on many levels. Yet one big challenge remains, and it's the one that prompted him to be a doctor in the first place.
But what has been steady state and a consistent, continuous challenge for us has been healthcare. To me, that's the biggest challenge facing this country. I feel that you need to go beyond your vocation, beyond your profession, and do more, because the public demands that. If you just did what you were trained to do and we just stay in our little silos, I'm not sure we'll be able to address some of the disparities in the various communities. I'm not talking about health, I'm talking about all the disparities. So you have to extend yourself, and I think that's key. If people ask me to describe myself, I'm a public servant who happens to be a surgeon.
Dr. LD Britt, surgeon, teacher, mentor, public servant, and now a 2016 Howard University honorary degree recipient. Congratulations, Dr. Britt.
And now we want you to meet Ambassador Horace Dawson Jr. He's a graduate of another HBCU, Lincoln University, and has degrees from Columbia University and the University of Iowa. He became ambassador to Botswana in 1979 and later established the Ralph J. Bunche International Affairs Center here at Howard. Ambassador Horace Dawson Jr. will be bestowed an honorary Doctor of Laws degree.
Ambassador Horace Dawson Jr., trailblazing diplomat and educator. He was born in Augusta, Georgia in the 1920s, inspired by dedicated parents and excelling despite the injustices and challenges of the segregated South. He earned degrees from Lincoln University, Columbia University, and the University of Iowa. Teaching was his first profession, laying the foundation for the rest of his life.
I like to think that I combined throughout my career the teaching with the diplomatic service, and that these two careers were for me anyway, intertwined. I taught, for example, and helped to establish the communications program at University of Nigeria. And I did some lecturing at the University of Botswana, so I was not ever entirely divorced from teaching.
Recruited by renowned broadcaster Edward R. Murrow, Horace Dawson became one of the first African Americans to join the United States Information Agency, USIA. It was 1962, and soon after, he and his family headed to Africa and a new life in foreign service.
And immediately I came into the service. I was assigned to Uganda in East Africa, and had a wonderful experience of helping them to open a boys' club. In Nigeria, I established what was known as the Kennedy Essay Contest and provided scholarship opportunities for essay winners to come to the United States and study. It was one of the very important things in my Foreign Service career.
Over the years, Ambassador Dawson also held important positions in Liberia and the Philippines, and in 1979 became the United States Ambassador to Botswana. While there, he strengthened relations between the U.S. and Botswana and was recognized for his efforts on behalf of independence in Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Namibia. Ambassador Dawson says the comfort and support of his family was crucial to his success.
Throughout my career in Foreign Service, my family traveled with me. My wife was a part of the Foreign Service life. She was very good at it. In fact, she was a great encouragement to me in it and a great supporter of me.
Yet even after all these accomplishments, he was, in the words of the old Negro spiritual, no ways tired. The day after he retired from USIA, he joined the Howard University faculty and eventually founded the Ralph J. Bunche International Affairs Center.
The Bunche Center has a focus on promoting international affairs at the university and also providing a training ground for students who hopefully will enter foreign service. and indeed a number of them have done so. It was the beginning of a great adventure among young people of the highest caliber at an institution that is really a great contributor to the United States and to the world, and that has really been a highlight of my life that I shall always treasure and remember, just as I shall the honorary degree of which I'm most proud.
Ambassador Horace Dawson Jr., a long, distinguished career in both international affairs and higher education, and now a 2016 Howard University honorary degree recipient. Congratulations, Ambassador Dawson.
For years, we've seen our next honoree on our television screens at home and on movie screens around the world, playing such memorable characters as Miss Jane Pittman, Marva Collins, and Harriet Tubman. And more recently, we've seen her play the mother of Annalise Keating on How to Get Away with Murder. I love that show. She's multi-award winning actress Cicely Tyson. She'll be receiving an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree.
Cicely Tyson, actress, advocate, living legend. The list of strong female characters she's portrayed is impressive. From her Emmy Award-winning role as Jane in the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman to her performances in Roots, the Marva Collins story, and A Woman Called Moses, a biopic about the life of Harriet Tubman.
But God on my side, I got to go where He calls me, no matter what evil is trying to stop me.
Cicely Tyson began her career in the entertainment industry as a model, but quickly embraced acting, starting out in small roles and later landing a major part as Rebecca Morgan, a wife, mother, and sharecropper in post-Depression Louisiana. Her work in Sounder earned her an Academy Award nomination.
I believe after Sounder, I began to realize that there was something that I had to say that people were interested in listening to. And that made me feel good. I mean, it made me feel that I had made a choice that I was not going to regret.
My name is Cicely Tyson, and I was born right here in New York City.
Growing up in New York City with her Caribbean-born parents and two siblings, Cicely Tyson wasn't a gregarious child. In fact, she was timid and preferred to watch and listen rather than converse. Fortunately for her fans, she was able to get past her shyness using her burgeoning acting talent.
I was terrified, you know. I could not speak. But the first time I read a character and I realized that I could express my emotions through another person, I became hooked. And it was such a wonderful release for me that I thought, oh, this is great. Huh? I could say anything I want, do whatever I want, and I wouldn't be penalized for it.
Cicely Tyson has always been discriminating about the roles she takes. In the 60s and 70s, she ignored the blaxploitation film trend, opting for more family-centered projects. Her shining career has paved the way for Black female actors, and she's glad that today's artists have more options.
What I see today is a variation in the roles. You're not looking at being cast in a degrading role consistently. You can say, I don't want to do that, but I'll take this. It's smaller, it's not starring, but I like what this has to say.
In 2013, after a long hiatus, Cicely Tyson returned to Broadway to play Carrie Watts, an elderly woman determined to see her hometown one more time. The play was called The Trip to Bountiful. During rehearsals, Miss Tyson found some of her old nervousness returning.
The fear is always before. Once I get on the stage and I open my mouth as the character, forget about everything. She becomes Mother Watts or Fonzia or whoever. Once I get into it, that's it.
For her performance in the trip to Bountiful, Miss Tyson added to her collection of Emmys and NAACP Image Awards. She received the Triple Crown of Theater Honors, a Tony Award, a Drama Desk Award, and an Outer Critics Circle Award for Best Actress in a Play. And for those seeking to walk in her artistic footsteps, she says the proof is in the preparation.
Learn your craft. I'm telling you, people don't believe that I still study. I can never know enough. Never.
At 90 years old, Cicely Tyson knows who she is and how far she's come. She's proud of her longevity and the life she's created for herself.
I believe that I am the sum total of all of my life's experiences. Good, bad, indifferent. That's who I am. I love life. And I try to utilize every single moment that I can, living every moment like it's the last one.
Cicely Tyson, actor, icon, ageless. And now a 2016 Howard University honorary degree recipient. Congratulations, Cicely Tyson.
And now to our final honoree and commencement speaker. On January 20th, 2009, Barack Obama was sworn in as the first African-American president of the United States. It was an episode in political history many thought would never come. His election ushered in a new era of change and possibility, a message particularly resonant on graduation day. The president will be conferred an honorary degree, Doctor of Science.
What do you say about a man who accomplished something that for centuries seemed impossible? Well, as it turns out, quite a lot. When Barack Obama became the 44th and first African-American president of the United States, the world was in awe. There were tears, cheers, and in some cases, fears. But after the dust settled, now President Barack Obama did what he'd always done, rolled up his sleeves and got to work. And that work embodies the Howard principles of truth and service, his actions, policies, and profound words, an homage to these values.
We don't have to choose between dirty air and dirty water or a growing economy. We can make sure that we are doing right by our environment and, in fact, putting people back to work all across America. That's part of our mission. I believe we can disrupt the pipeline from underfunded schools to overcrowded jails. I believe we can address the disparities in the application of criminal justice, from arrest rates to sentencing to incarceration. And I believe we can help those who have served their time and earned a second chance get the support they need to become productive members of society. A typical black woman makes only 60 cents, a Latino woman 55 cents for every dollar that a white man earns. Now, if we truly value fairness, then America should be a level playing field where everyone who works hard gets a chance to succeed.
From his post-college years as an organizer and advocate for public housing in Chicago, to becoming the first African-American president of the Harvard Law Review, to becoming the Commander-in-Chief of the United States, President Obama has proven that taking a stance on issues like justice, liberty, and equality can transform the world. And from his bully pulpit, he has fought for positive change.
We should build an economy where everybody has a fair shot, everybody does their fair share, and everybody plays by the same set of rules. What kind of country do we want to be? Are we a country that's defined by values that say access to health care is a commodity awarded to only the highest bidders? Or by the values that say health care is a fundamental right?
He is the son of a white American mother and an African father, raised in Kansas, Indonesia, and Hawaii. The cultural sensitivity derived from this upbringing driving his ideals of global citizenry and cooperation, and giving him the ability to weigh issues and ideas, unifying them in a way that moves things forward. Winning the 2009 Nobel Peace Prize reflects this, along with his commitment and efforts on behalf of issues like immigration reform.
They are us. They work as teachers in our schools, doctors in our hospitals, police officers in our neighborhoods. But what our history and the facts show is that generation after generation, immigrants have been a net plus to our economy and a net plus to our society.
90 years ago, Mordecai Johnson became Howard University's first African American president, and like President Obama, Johnson faced the naysayers on what could be accomplished. Also like President Obama, he was not a man to give up easily and continued his mission to enliven Howard University. Though nearly a century divided, both men maintained a broad vision for the future, and that included the education of our children.
No matter who you are, where you live, or how much money you've got, you should be able to access the world's knowledge and information just like anyone else.
There's no better economic policy than one that produces more graduates with the skills they need to succeed, to start their own businesses, to create their own Microsoft. And that's why reforming education is the responsibility of every single American. Getting the best possible education has never been more important than it is right now. In today's world, a good job requires a good education. We're not going to give up on any school in America or any child in America.
So what else do you say about a man who's achieved what many thought impossible, who's weathered financial crises, political strife, terrorism, with the responsibility for himself, his family, and the country on his shoulders? You say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your inspiration. You also say congratulations, Mr. President, as you are now a 2016 Howard University honorary degree recipient. Welcome to the Howard family.
What a privilege to hear such motivating and inspirational stories from these remarkable dignitaries. Their lives are a testament to dedication, perseverance, and service. Best wishes to them all. The graduation march will soon be starting, but we do not want to waste one bit of time. We want to check in again with Tony Richards. He's surrounded by a bunch of folks who've also been pretty dedicated over the past few years, or they wouldn't be here today, right, Tony? What's going on?
Yes, the excitement is still brewing here on the campus of Howard University during the 148th commencement, and I'm joined by a proud graduate right now, a very tall graduate. His name is Stanford Carter. He is the first in his family to graduate with a master's. Stanford, how does that feel for you and your family?
Well, we're just proud. I'm proud of myself. They're proud of me. I'm just elated that I can, do this, bring this to the family. I'm just excited, elated to be here. Barack Obama speaking last year in office. I'm just proud. My family is proud. I'm just elated.
And man, we're very proud of you, man, and congratulations to you, Stanford, all right?
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Well, there you go, man. Those are some of our students here, and another one here real quick she has on. Look at this hat, girl. What's your name?
Duchess.
And you're graduating from what school?
Civil engineering.
Well, we are loving your hat. Congratulations, all right?
Thank you.
We love that hat. Look at it, man. Like we said, there is nothing like a Howard University graduation. Let it all begin. The excitement, the energy, it all begins now. Back to you, Millette.
Thank you, Tony. That's probably one of the best hats I've seen today. Well, the commencement is up next. The faculty is walking in right now. I want to thank you for joining us during our pre-show as we applaud the Howard University class of 2016. Kudos again to our honorees and to all the graduates who've made us so proud. I'm Millette Green. Have a good day.